Title: This 151 million Marina skyscraper is imploding. 133 families forced to evacuate. Imagine getting an urgent email on a scorching Tuesday afternoon in Dubai. You have exactly 36 hours to pack your life into whatever bags you can carry and run. You aren't fleeing a sudden fire or a regional conflict. You are running because elite forensic structural engineers just ran the math on the luxury tower beneath your feet. And the math says the skyscraper is failing. One critical floor slab is about to punch straight through the column holding it up, triggering a catastrophic, progressive collapse. 19 stories of premium Dubai real estate, pancaking one level at a time. To prevent a horrific mass casualty disaster, the city completely emptied the building before the worst could happen. Decades before this sudden evacuation order, this ultra-luxury tower was the jewel of the Dubai Marina skyline. Rising 19 stories into the desert heat, it stood right on the edge of the Arabian Gulf, offering breathtaking, unobstructed ocean views on one side and the glittering, neon landscape of New Dubai on the other. It was home to 112 multi-million-dollar condominiums and an exclusive cluster of beachfront townhomes at its base. For years, it was an iconic landmark of early-stage luxury development, built right before the city implemented stricter height caps and zoning laws in this specific sector. Living here was the ultimate symbol of expat success. It was a point of pride, but building on reclaimed desert sand, right on the edge of the hyper-saline Persian Gulf, comes with a silent, devastating tax. The blistering Dubai heat, intense humidity, and airborne salt do not care about prestige. Underneath the gleaming glass facade, a nightmare was brewing. By 2015, the ocean air had spent decades aggressively eating into the tower's heavy, concrete framework. Engineers discovered severe, deep-seated structural corrosion in the balconies, the exterior shear walls, and the massive underground parking garage. The threat was invisible, but it was growing rapidly. The Homeowners Association scrambled, flying in international specialists for a massive high-stakes structural restoration. They completely rebuilt 191 luxury balconies, patched the crumbling underground garage, and installed advanced cathodic protection systems, a high-tech method using electrical currents to desperately slow down the rust, devouring the steel reinforcement deep inside the concrete. They did all of this while wealthy expats kept living inside, with massive climbing construction platforms crawling up and down the glass and concrete facade. But here is the terrifying detail almost everyone missed at the time. While hacking away at the damaged concrete, engineering crews discovered a fatal flaw that had absolutely nothing to do with salt air or desert heat. The original developers had placed the structural reinforcing steel in the completely wrong position during construction. The balconies had been structurally deficient and dangerously weak since day one. Crews had to hastily bolt heavy steel supports onto the undersides just to bring the building up to basic safety standards. It was a massive, flashing warning sign written in cracked concrete and rusted rebar. But nobody asked the most terrifying question. If the builders catastrophically botched the balconies, what else did they get wrong? The answer came by accident in 2022. A contractor was doing a routine luxury renovation inside a single privately owned condo. But when he stripped back the high-end drywall, he found a horrific defect in the critical connection between a massive vertical column and the solid concrete floor slab it was supposed to support. This is the exact joint that prevents an upper floor from collapsing onto the lower one. Instead of triggering an immediate emergency evacuation, it triggered a slow, bureaucratic study. The Homeowners Association hired an engineering firm to investigate. But looking closer meant tearing open the walls and ceilings of multi-million-dollar homes. Many wealthy owners refused to let crews demolish their premium interiors for a routine inspection. Consequently, engineers could only inspect 16% of the entire tower. Yet, even that tiny glimpse revealed a nightmare. The structural defects were caused by severe original construction shortcuts. The firm recommended temporary steel shoring props, but stopped short of declaring the tower an immediate collapse hazard. So, the municipality let everyone stay. The structural warnings were officially filed away into a system where nobody acted with any real urgency, until the clock finally ran out. If you have ever sat in a high-stakes homeowners association meeting in downtown Dubai or the Marina, wondering if anyone in the room actually understands the complex engineering keeping you alive, this nightmare is going to hit incredibly close to home. And if you want more uncompromising breakdowns of how the world's most glamorous megastructures are quietly failing from the inside out, you are on the right channel. Hit subscribe, and let's look at how this disaster completely spiraled. By early 2025, a second, far more aggressive international forensic engineering firm was brought in to finish what the first inspection could not. This time, there were no compromises. They ran an exhaustive, data-heavy structural assessment of every single floor, and what they uncovered turned a slow-moving corporate worry to a code-red emergency. On February 25, 2025, they delivered a blunt, terrifying letter to the association. The skyscraper was no longer safe for human habitation. Pay close attention, because this explains exactly how a modern luxury tower can instantly turn into a death trap. This Marina skyscraper was built using a design known as a flat plate system. Picture the massive concrete floors as completely flat slabs resting directly on vertical columns, with no heavy structural beams supporting them from underneath. It is a highly popular design across Dubai because it is fast to build, cost-effective, and maximizes ceiling height for that premium, luxury aesthetic. But it has one fatal vulnerability: the precise point where the vertical column pierces the horizontal floor slab. If you place too much weight on that specific joint, the column will punch straight through the concrete floor above it, like a sharpened pencil driving through a sheet of paper. Engineers call this catastrophic failure punching shear. The new report revealed that the tower's floors were sitting right at the absolute edge of their punching shear capacity, struggling under nothing more than the ordinary weight of the everyday furniture and the expats living inside them. Worse, the engineers warned that the areas they couldn't access due to locked doors and uncooperative owners were likely in the exact same state of imminent failure. The danger wasn't isolated to a few units. The threat was systemic, invisible, and potentially everywhere. The structural engineers utilized a specific word in their official report that should make any high-rise resident's stomach drop: structural implosion. If one single column and slab joint gave way, it would trigger a progressive collapse. The top floor would punch down onto the level below it, instantly overloading that joint, causing a chain reaction all the way to the ground floor. To halt an imminent disaster, the city had to enforce the ultimate short-term fix: immediate weight subtraction. The fastest way to relieve the stress on those overloaded concrete slabs was to remove the heaviest variable weight inside the building: the people and their belongings. On February 26th, municipal authorities issued the ultimate ultimatum. Over 200 residents, across a building that was roughly 70% occupied, had 36 hours to flee. They could grab their passports and clothes, but all heavy luxury furniture had to stay behind. The furniture was now officially classified as a structural hazard. The surrounding beachfront townhomes and the interconnected parking garage were completely cordoned off over fears that if the main tower imploded, it would crush the entire complex. Then came the financial devastation. The initial engineering estimate to stabilize the structure, handle extensive asbestos abatement, reinforce the concrete slabs, and make the tower legally livable again came out to a staggering $151 million. When you divide that massive sum across the 112 luxury apartments and townhomes, individual expat owners were hit with sudden emergency assessments topping $1.5 million each. On top of that, displaced residents were forced to pay up to $5,000 a month out of pocket just to rent alternative luxury housing in Dubai's hyper-competitive rental market. Many of these families had invested their entire life savings, $500,000 to $1 million cash, into these units just to secure a permanent slice of the Marina lifestyle. To make matters worse, insurance companies completely walked away. The master building insurance policy carried by the association did not cover latent structural design defects or original construction malpractice. Every single dollar of the $151 million repair bill landed squarely on the individual property owners, with absolutely no financial safety net. For some, The cost to repair the tower was significantly higher than the market value of the apartment itself. Owners were forced into an impossible corner: pay a ruinous million-dollar bill for a home they were legally banned from entering, attempt a catastrophic fire sale in a spooked market, or walk away from their life savings and face total financial ruin. The fallout quickly shattered into bitter legal warfare. Wealthy owners sued the Homeowners Association, alleging fraud, gross negligence, and breach of fiduciary duty. They claimed management knew about the catastrophic column defects for years and actively covered them up to protect property values. Class action law firms launched massive investigations into decades of maintenance decisions, tracking a paper trail of structural warning signs that went ignored while the tower slowly buckled under the desert sun. Even the townhome owners sued the municipality, arguing the sudden evacuation order violated their rights without a fair hearing. They claimed their structures were physically independent of the failing main tower. Trust completely evaporated. As residents realized they were the very last to know, learning their multi-million-dollar investments were collapsing via local news broadcasts and leaked municipal documents rather than a straight answer from management. But this isn't just an isolated tragedy in a single Dubai Marina tower. This is a terrifying preview of a systemic global crisis. Top forensic engineers warn that this case is just one symptom of a widespread epidemic. There are thousands of flat-plate concrete high-rises stretching across major global hubs, built during rapid construction booms between the 1960s and 1990s, where building codes lagged behind engineering reality. Unforgiving design, intense coastal salt air, extreme thermal expansion, and original construction shortcuts are all colliding at once. Today, this iconic Marina tower stands completely dark and empty for exactly one reason. It was the only way to keep it from collapsing entirely. And right now, thousands more high-rises are packed with residents who have no idea their floors are sitting on the knife edge of failure. If you want to know which global mega projects are quietly failing long before they hit the news, subscribe and stay tuned. We'll keep digging into the dark engineering